What's up guys, Heat King here, bringing you a review on the latest Magi chapter, chapter 326, so the Tensen Mountains as it's called. So yeah, we left last week's chapter with an interesting development, which was pretty much the revival of both Sinbad and David, and them two teaming up and uniting against Hugo and Sinbad's metal vessels, you know, swearing loyalty to him and rebelling against Hugo. So yeah, shit pretty much went down last week, and it was a very interesting and unexpected development at the same time. I mean, for a while now, we pretty much knew that Sinbad would be the final villain of this arc, but when he ended up going to the Sacred Palace and dying, and then David was kind of born, there was a bit of a uncertainty to how this final arc would develop. And then when David got his ass kicked in the next chapter, it was like, okay, it looks like Hugo's going to be the final villain because he's gone batshit insane with power and the whole god structure and the whole loneliness aspect. So that's what it felt like where the story was going. I mean, I think we all presumed that Sinbad would still play a role, but whether he was going to be the villain or not, that was the part that remained to be seen. But no, last week went in pretty much the route we all expected, at least somewhat, with Sinbad coming back thanks to his metal vessels reviving him, and unexpectedly he brought David back with him at the same time and made him his personal advisor and mage. Now we don't know where Arba stands in all of this, but I imagine she's going to be teaming up with these guys as well. So Sinbad at this point in time has two very powerful mages with him. So yeah, it's very, very unexpected, and he's got like godlike powers, not to forget that. And Hugo's pretty much been put under illusions, and he's got access to the Sacred Palace. So yeah, shit is going down. This chapter is more or less just sort of a small progression in terms of Aladdin's character and everyone else. We get Aladdin and Yuno overlooking these mountains and pretty much explaining that the hole in the sky has slightly opened up a bit bigger, and Yuno assuring Aladdin that, you know, there's no way in hell Il-Ilah is going to be descending anytime soon. But then he feels a very strange presence that kind of knocks him slightly out, and Aladdin kind of just thinks that's to do with his injuries relating to the battle they had with Arba. So, you know, they make the separate ways to go on with their lives and rest and shit. But yeah, this is obviously an obvious foreshadowing that this hole in the sky is still going to play a role that's to come. So it's going to be interesting to see what else happens, along with the fact that they obviously sensed an uneasy presence. I mean, they know something's gone wrong, and Aladdin, when he gets to the Ko Empire and meets up with Alibaba, Morgina, Hakurayu, and Emperor Kohen, and Jidar, who he runs into smack first, so it's great seeing Jidar again. It was great seeing him come back. But yeah, pretty much all of the main characters, in a way, are pretty much reunited at this point. And yeah, Aladdin pretty much explains to all of them that he senses something uneasy. Something has obviously changed. And Jadar, pretty much being a mage even, he says that he can't feel anything. So we get a little joke there from Hakurayu telling him, even though he's a mage, he can't sense anything, he tells him to shut up. So it's nice little humour there. But Jadar, you know, makes his thoughts clear that he still thinks that Hakurayu should be emperor, and pretty much leaves, saying he's going to have fun. But I imagine he's probably gone to see for himself what's happening, maybe. I don't know, because it just feels kind of uneven for one minute to sit there and listening to what's happening and then just getting his arse off and saying he's going to go out and have fun. So I'm thinking he's probably gone to do some investigating of his own, perhaps. But yeah, at this point in time, things are obviously unsuspectingly creeping up with our heroes, and they have no idea what's about to happen or what's to come. You've got Alibaba pretty much ringing Sinbad at the Alliance headquarters because they've heard reports of lightning of some sort striking there, and Sinbad surprisingly is answering, and he's with all of his friends and shit, you know, doing his little company work, signing forms and that, and he pretty much tells, you know, Alibaba that nothing's gone wrong and that everything's fine, and that he's looking forward to his wedding with Morgina. So, you know, Sinbad's back, and his appearance is still the same, so we have no idea what's happening at this point in time. We have no idea what he's planning, but there is an unease. It's kind of the calm before the storm, basically. And yeah, this chapter it's a very simple chapter, and then it ends with the most unexpected thing. It skips about 3 days later And you've got someone knocking on Aladdin's door, and he answers around, it's Ali Baba, and he's drenched in water. And he pretty much, you know, in a nervous, wracking, destroyed way tells Aladdin that Morgana has broken up with him. So yeah, that's how this chapter ends, and it's like a big F you to the fans and a big slap to us readers, because it's like, oh, we're looking forward to this wedding, and now it looks like there ain't even gonna be a wedding. So what the hell went wrong? What the hell did you do, Ali Baba? Did you go and look at prostitutes and shit again? Did you try it on, or is there something more deliberate and sinister going on here that's related to Sinbad or David possibly, which is the most likely thing that's probably happened, because it just seems so unexpected. And yeah, man, I mean, what the hell is going on? Seriously, if it's something that Ali Baba personally did, then you're an idiot. You're an idiot, Ali. You're an idiot. Get your shit sorted out and go and apologise to that girl, because if it was you, it's your fault, so apologise, damn it. But yeah, this chapter was just very, very basic and simple. Last week's was definitely better because it was so unexpected, and that's the thing with Magi, man. This manga is just like, it's really unpredictable. You think it's gonna go in one direction, and it ends up surpassing your expectations, and it goes in a completely different direction. And you know, some people probably call that bad writing, because, you know, the best kind of writing is really the ones where you can predict. But then you have to think about that. Sometimes a story that is predictable is both good, because it means that the writer has foreshadowed those events for a long time, and it's in there in the initial story setup. But sometimes predictability is just basic story structure, and it's boring. With Magi, it's great because like the developments just sort of make sense. Like when you learn what's actually happening later on down the line, and how, you know, it's developing the characters, it just feels right compared to how it would be if it went down a predictable route. So I like this story aspect. I like how this is all developing and how it's all turning out. Like, I mean, here I am thinking one minute that David's going to be the main villain, or it's going to be Arba, then it's going to be Hugo, and no, it goes back to it being Sinbad, and yeah, that was predictable, but the way it goes about, the way it happens, and the way he ends up having David as his personal advisor and shit, like that, the way all those developments were made, that was great. So I'm happy with the results of that, and I'm happy with the way this final arc is going, and I'm happy that everyone's pretty much together and reunited now. But I'm just curious how it's all going to come crushing down on their heads now, because it was pretty much confirmed that we're halfway through this arc now. We have, by minimum, at least 30 chapters left. So, you know, things are obviously going to start heating up. I imagine that once we get to 330, things are going to start picking up immensely, and we're going to be going to that final battle, because that final battle is definitely coming very, 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 very soon, probably at the end of this year. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how shit's going down, because man, I'm getting hyped now. I mean, this Magi greatness, man, it's just like, it's piling up. And yeah, I'm very interested also to see the anime now. Like, I really want to see the anime, but at the same time, I kind of want to wait and see if they're going to announce a third season, so I can maybe just wait for that to come out and then watch it all through and through, because I'd hate the fact to watch the anime and then finding out there's not going to be a continuation. So that's always the case. That's always the negative aspect of that. But yeah, today's chapter was just basic and simple, while last week's was definitely a lot better. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see how this all turns out. Tell me your thoughts down below, guys. If you want, comment, you know, etc, etc. As always, like and subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Cheers for that. And yeah, guys, I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye.